Thursday night football. Man, am I fired up. Broncos, Raiders. Got a big matchup tonight for Thursday night football. Week 10 of the NFL season is officially here. We only have one NBA game tonight, which kind of stinks. But we have quite the slate of NHL games, so we are going to be looking at some NHL anytime goal scorers, no doubt about that. And then we have a pretty solid slate of college basketball. And I think we have a little bit of college football as well today. So it's a pretty good mix. Even though the NBA, one game makes it tough, we have some other things going on that there's plenty going on, guys. So first and foremost, welcome into the stream. And happy Thursday to you. Very excited for the next hour, crush some bets, go through some plays. Pulling up the Sharp Money tool over here, seeing what we have going on. Appreciate that, John. What's going on, Trent? Yeah, so I'm obviously going to pose the question to you guys here in the stream because you guys are the ones that show up every day, the loyals. And I want to really find out from you, right? I put the poll out on Twitter. If you voted on Twitter, I appreciate it. But we are going to post this now. This is something that I've definitely neglected when it comes to sports betting. So I'm really curious for you guys. I'll just type this out there. And make sure I put this here as well. All right, so would just love to hear from you guys if you can vote on this. Would love to know if you would like to see more long shot lotto plus EV parlays. This was all possible because this picture behind me is because of a long shot plus EV lotto parlay. And someone asked me on Twitter yesterday, like, dang, don't you wish that you could have put $20 on it? And normally, my answer is true. Is like, I'm just happy I bet it because normally I don't bet those kind of long shot crazy parlays. But obviously, if you do hit one, it changes everything. It's massive. It's huge. And so while I'm not expecting to hit any of these long shot lottos parlays, I do know they're plus EV, and I do know eventually that edge will work itself out. So would love to hear from you guys from now until obviously the rest of the NFL season and for the next 3 to 5 months. I'll make sure if there is an overwhelming yes, which on X there was an overwhelming response to yes, then I will be more than happy to put more of those together. I have some different DFS books teed up, and I'm just looking to see if we had anything on the Sharp Money tool that was really going to highlight. Naturally, guys, if you know NBA is king. And so when the NBA is having, like as today, there's one game today, it can make things a bit difficult to find some awesome value. So if we're over here on PrizePicks and we're looking at some 3-man slips, no insurance, power entries, I'm going to remove the fantasy scores. As everyone knows, I don't care to play fantasy scores at all. MP, what's going on? Willow, evening to you. Irish, how's it going? Can't hurt, Ken. Yeah, and by the way, guys, all of these long shot lotto parlays, I know the one I put on DraftKings was for $25. If I were you and you wanted to tail these, I'm talking $1 to $5, right? Sprinkle $1, sprinkle $5 at most on these long shots. We're not looking for these to really put in your 2 weeks notice to your work, but obviously they can easily set you up for success if we can own one of these for a long time. So, we're not putting $100 on these. I don't have the Alex Monahan bankroll yet to do that, but $1 to $5 if you want to tail those. Don't expect to win them, but that's why it's just a real small sprinkle on those parlays. I want to make sure I say that as a disclaimer. Yeah, and you donate a cup of coffee to have a chance to win a couple grand or a grand. Bonus bets, yeah, always on the bonus bets, guys. Technically, me putting those on NHL anytime goal scores is actually, a little mini lotto, if that really small. It's like hitting big on a scratch-off ticket for like $500 to $1,000. But these other lottos, we're looking to go a little bit bigger. Always going to be above plus 10,000 odds, if not higher. This one was crazy. This was a plus 107,000 odds, which is like less than 0.1% chance of hitting. But at the moment, back on track with PrizePicks. Yeah, man, this ain't much. Ain't much for today. We're already looking at plays for Friday. So we'll look at underdog 3-pick slips. What do I have here? Again, we're moving fantasy scores. Okay. Just got done filming a video, guys, that will be going on the OddGM channel probably sometime in the next week or so, going over the new custom EV formula and my favorite combinations, what I love to look for. Shared some different combinations that I won't be sharing on the stream. You have to wait to see the video that drops on YouTube next week, but it's going to be, I'm excited about this. So here at the moment, not much. MP, first and foremost. Appreciate that, MP. Thank you so much, man. And all OGs and DGens, whether that's Trent or Nito or Ken, Saints fan, what's going on, man? Use the bonus bet. Nice to hear that. Make sure that you welcome in MP. Appreciate you, man. Obviously, for those of you that don't know, I have 2 memberships on my YouTube page. DGens, $1.99 a month. OGs, $4.99 a month. $4.99, not $499. So $2 a month or $5 a month. And obviously, as we kind of gain, the streams are growing. I grow. Everything grows, the community, the family grows. This is where I specifically look for, everyone right now in the chat is really a premium member. So I make sure to answer your guys' questions first. Nito said earlier, I used your anytime goals again last night for my Fanatics $200 sweat bet, and it hit again for the second day in a row. Nito, what's going on, brother? That's what you do, right? Doesn't always work out, but when it does work out, you're just like, yes. Yes. So I don't see much, guys. Obviously, these plays are for Friday. So, I'm going to wait till tomorrow to really dive into these. I don't see much for today. So, as you guys can kind of see, not that you don't know, but NBA really rules the world. But, yeah, you put it on an NHL anytime goal scorer, Nito, $200 no sweat bet, bang, cash it for a big payout. Now you're super happy, right? Instead of putting it on a minus 250 odds play, right, that you I know I can win this, but you might only make $50. Now you're hitting for a really solid profit. Thanks, MP. So I'm glad to have you guys in there. Irish, pick 6, Bowers, free square. Yeah, well, definitely. I know that DraftKings has some good stuff going on, and and I'm already here logged into DraftKings. And so, yeah, they got the Brock Bowers free square. So we are going to try our dangdest, however you want to say it. Plus, we have the winnings boost. If you have 2 options like I do, guys, I would not choose the 4-pick entry. I would just choose the 3-pick entry, but I'm going to claim that right now. 49ers Faithful, really appreciate that, man. Thank you for gifting some memberships out. Okay, so obviously, as we're going through these plays, I will, if I see anything that I really, really like, I will call it out. If I don't see anything I don't like, then I just won't. I'd say Georgia Southern plus 5.5. This, for my flip people, this play is fine. I'm not against it at all. 15 cents off the Pinnacle. I would say I would put a half unit to a unit on this play. Plus 5.5 is kind of one of those weird numbers. But it's better than, anything above plus 4.5 and higher is pretty solid. So I don't mind the Georgia Southern play at plus 5.5 on flip. If we take a look at parlay play, and obviously I like to go 3 minimum data points. We'll take a look at this. So first 2 days, guys, of Dub Club. OGs and DGens that are part of this, I'm sorry, I am going to be kind of talking about this a little bit more in the streams. When we have bad days, I'll talk about when we have bad days too. But we've had 2 solid first days in the books. Really, really good. I know that Chi-Town is in here, and forgive me if anyone is in the stream right now that is a part of Dove Club. Please let me know in the chat, because then I'll always remember you. But I know that Chi-Town's in here. GJ, what's going on? Irish says we hit both flip plays from the stream last night. There we go. No doubt about that, Nito. Yeah, use the promo converter if you want to. But 49ers Faithful, thank you so much for gifting those memberships. I appreciate that. MP, welcome to the family. And, we're doing well on Dub Club. We're up about a little over 3 units. And that's really an awesome number, because that's a number that's not ridiculous like you see with some people up, 20 units in the first 2 days. We're just up 3 units, but it's solid. Made over 2 units yesterday. Already both plays are given out today for main markets and player props for today. That card's already out there. So it's been solid. I don't expect to win every single day, but it's been a nice start. So, I mentioned this, guys, from now until the end of day tomorrow. For my 1-month memberships, I am offering a 3 free day trial and then 20% off. So check this out if you want to. Appreciate that, Ken. Appreciate you signing up. DFS plays move a lot. They do move a lot. So I don't really like anything here in parlay play. But we've had a really strong start over at Dub Club to get things started. Again, guys, if you're paying for a software, Dub Club, it's a fraction of the price, right? It's $19.99 or $9.99 a week, but $19.99 a month. It's really aimed for those people that maybe, a software is maybe out of your price range, or it's just out of your time commitment. You just don't have time to sit in front of a screen and do that. So the idea here is that I'm in front of a screen all day long, 24/7, and so I'm giving you some of my favorite plays that are out there. So to kind of give you guys also just an idea of the card, right? So this is kind of what the card looks like from last night, and then we'll move on and get back to the regular betting. But this is an idea of what the card kind of looks like. You're going to see, might be a little too small, so I'll just bring this over to the side. That's fine. So you're going to see plays like this, right? Or this was from yesterday. And our big plays that I was hot on was Sam Hauser, Aaron Gordon, and Vince Dunn, right? And the Vince Dunn play, I even told you where you could go to other sports books to bet this at a better price. But this is kind of what you get. So we didn't hit on the goal scores. And Klingberg and Kent Johnson, we didn't win. And Marshall, we lost. But our big plays of Dunn, Gordon, and Hauser for 2 units and 1.5 units, those cashed. And then I also gave out main line markets that did very well. Again, these were plays that worked really well. I give a little breakdown of how much you should bet to depending on the odds range. So it worked out really, really well for the first 2 days. Again, you guys can try it 3 days for free. If you don't like it, just cancel. Doesn't cost you a dime. I'd say at least give it a shot and see what happens. Try it out for free for 3 days. All right, so we're looking at some NHL plays. Let's look at the we got the NHL boost. So we got a nice boost going on here. I lean more heavily on Pinnacle than I do on FanDuel. So like Ottinger looks decent, but so we can go with maybe some of these. Again, because we're receiving a boost on this, it makes this even better. Makes it even better. So let's try this once more. Ottinger over on his saves. Buchnevich on points. Okay. Bazzi under on his saves. Buchnevich going up against Buffalo, so we're looking for him to get a point. So I'm really just going after the top 3 plays because I'm looking at Pinnacle's line compared to the pick 6. And again, this isn't maybe a play this play isn't really plus EV on its own. We need that boost in order to make it plus EV. But this should do the trick. It really, really should. So we'll throw this out there and I will share this with you guys. This is what I'm going to roll with for $50. Appreciate that, 49ers. The Mason Marchment play, Anton, yeah. Mason Marchment, him and Jake Laveria. Those are my 2 dudes that are that I just hate. And so Mason Marchment did not get the job done again. But I will know this year that there will be days. I'm just picking the days so far that he's not getting it done. Let's take a look at the NFL now because we got that Brock Bowers free square. And we definitely want to take a look at that. And we'll see. We also had a nice night last night on Better. 2 of the slips that I shared on the live stream, guys, 2 3-pick entries cashed. So hopefully you guys that you have access to Better were able to tail that. And then we'll just type in like Raiders because we have to make sure that it's probably for tonight. All right, so we got some different plays here. Looking at Pinnacle, Gino, I'm not really crazy about these. I'd say maybe the Ashton Genty on his rushing yards. This is 4 cents off. So the hard part here is when we have one game available to us to bet tonight, this is very difficult. And is there anything that I see? Gino over on his passing yards, it doesn't even look all that good. Brock Bowers over on his receiving yards, 66.5 at minus 115. We can't double down on him again because we already have his receiving yards. Yeah, so I'm not like super. I really don't like any of these plays, to be honest with you guys. So this would be one of the very rare times where I would tell you to just bet this on your own. We can take maybe Genty under on his rushing yards, which I'm okay with. Michael Mayer, yeah, not really. Yeah, this is tough. This is very tough tonight. We'll take Geno over on his passing yards. So this is all Raiders. Oh, we have to pick at least 2 different teams. Shit, I forgot about that one. So we got to go with a Bronco. All the values on the Raiders right now. Well, I guess because I'm on Raiders. So that would probably make sense. Billy, when you type in Raiders, bro, that's because it's Raiders. Let's look at the Broncos. What do we got? J.K. Dobbins, over on his rush attempts. Troy Franklin, under on catches. I like, I guess, maybe Troy Franklin a little bit more. So let's take Troy Franklin under on his catches. Are they offering that for us? They are. Okay. So this is going to be the 3-pick entry. And I'm playing it for like $10 because I'm not very excited about this entry. But to get that free square in there, I would not load up too much on this, guys. Let me catch up to what Nina was saying. Appreciate that, Damien. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. He is. No doubt about that, Trent. Check the low hold screen. Appreciate that. Yeah, if the GOAT's doing it, we can do it as well. So let's come over here to the arbitrage tool. We'll talk about arbitrage, then we'll look at the low holds tool. I do like that. It's a very good strategy. I appreciate that. Hoping he's due. 4.5 catches, Irish. Sutton. Let me go over the arbitrage tool and then come back on the Sutton play. So this is the time I would say that we want to go after some plays. Which markets do I have teed up? All right, we got main markets, main and player props. Date range today. DVIG settings to Pinnacle, though honestly you could just go whatever you want here. And then let's look at other books as well. Bingo. Okay, so Cal State, Northridge, DraftKings and Bovada. That's fine. You can day trade these books to make some money. Again, no NBA player props. There's just one NBA game tonight, guys, so there's not a lot of opportunities. Riley Moss here. This is a little low. So again, this is one of those days with arbitrage betting. Remember, some days there's going to be an abundance of plays compared to others. And the fact that there's only one NBA game, tomorrow is going to be a big day for the NBA. So I would say load up for tomorrow. Today, if you're just looking to chill, that's fine. Speaking of some other tools, when we're looking at hedging, the middles tool. Whoa, hit this play up right now. Caesars and Bet Rivers. This is like the main line play here for North Carolina and Elon. You can make a 1.5% edge on this play, plus have a chance to make a boatload of cash. This looks incredible. Obviously, I'm being reactive to these plays right now. Like, this is something you want to naturally be logged into. But this is an incredible play. Incredible. So let's just kind of break this down. If you're new to sports betting, you're like, why is this guy making such a big deal about a 1.67% edge? So if you wager $250 on Caesars and $210 on Bet Rivers, okay, and we can change up these dollar amounts, right? You're going to make around $7 to $8 no matter what happens. Doesn't matter who wins or loses the game. But if North Carolina wins this basketball game by 37 points exactly, and I know it's a small window, but if they win exactly by 37 points, you win this bet on Bet Rivers and you win this wager on Caesars. You cash both bets. So you're going to make $7 no matter what happens, but you have a chance to make $460 some, right? So that's why on the middles tool, guys, literally bet as much as you can. So if we find a play where it's like maybe you want to bet $50, okay? And I don't know, maybe you bet $40, $42, right? You're going to make a profit no matter what happens. Doesn't really matter what you wager, guys, but if you can afford it, bet as much as you can because you're going to make then a guaranteed $15 if you bet $420 here, $500 here, and if this lands on 37, you're making $934 in profit. This is as long as you execute this correctly, then this is zero risk, some rewards or extremely high rewards. This is how on one of those rare days, this is talk about like long shot lotto parlays. This is like guaranteed winning with a lotto parlay. You're praying that North Carolina wins this basketball game by 37. This is where that happens with the middle tool, right? Now, you want to set your alerts up, right? You want to set this up so that you can get alerted. Save a filter. I like to go to -0.5%. If you don't want to play a -0.5%, simply just go to 0, right? And then you're only going to go after plays that are going to make you some type of profit. North Florida, Florida. First half point spread. If Florida's up 24 points in the first half, the wager gets refunded to you on Bovada. You win the bet on FanDuel, but no matter what happens, you're going to make a small profit. So even if you're only starting out betting $25, this is still something that you can easily grow your bankroll. Doesn't get talked about enough. Bino brought this up in the stream a couple days ago. Make sure that you set up notifications for the middles tool. With so many college basketball games going on, this is going to happen all the time throughout the winter or throughout the fall and the winter. So check this out. I appreciate that, Ken. Thank you very much, man. Appreciate that. And at least, Ken, then that's a way for you. You know, I try to make sure that the plays that I give out on Dub Club, guys, are very general books, right? I'm not giving out just Fanatics plays and Hard Rock plays because either you don't have Hard Rocks or you're limited severely on Fanatics and Hard Rocks. So I'm trying to give out some props builder plays because that's a very general offshore book. FanDuel, DraftKings, or Onyx, some Caesars, right? Or some Canby Sportsbook plays. So that, you know, in general, because I don't know where everyone's tuning in from or supporting from. So try to make sure I provide a wide menu. So these are plays that I like, and then, you know, they're also widely available, right? So those would be that. But I appreciate that, Ken. And yeah, we've had a good day. You know, we are going to have a losing day at some point, but let's hope that that's like 4 or 5 days in advance and we can stack 10, 12, 15 units of profit. All right, let's go take a look at the low holds page to kind of talk about the pick six stuff, right? Didn't forget about this. So another tool that doesn't get talked about a lot, guys, but what you can do here is you can come over and you can either low holds this, you can type in Pinnacle, okay? We think Pinnacle is really sharp. And then you can just select your sports book. So we can clear out everything and we can just go, you know, show me pick six. Show me 2 picks. Show me 3 picks, right? And there might not be anything showing here, right? The other thing that you can do is you can then just like clear this out, and then you can just type in maybe DraftKings 3-pick 6, okay? And what you can do is you can find some low holds plays, okay? So plays where like this guy's got $1,000 on Jordan Addison. Maybe this is something that we want to take over here. You can find, you know, you can search by this by sportsbook if you only want certain sportsbooks to pop up. But the hold percentage is how a sportsbook makes money off of us. They don't charge a monthly subscription fee, but they bake in a VIG into these odds. So when you can find plays with a low hold that are under 1%, right, or under 2%, it's really good, but really under 1% is like elite. So this is how you can find some various different plays over here, and these would be the top ones, right? Now we're looking for games for today. Obviously, my date range is set for the next 7 days, but this is how you can find some different plays and create some different slips. And I would have to imagine this is kind of the same with how Alex likes to do it. Anton, the reason you weren't able to post on Dub Club today? No, Anton, I posted, brother. I posted both. There are, yeah, so over here, just so you know, we'll take a little screenshot here. So people are viewing it, but just so you know, right here, player props got posted, 21 views. Main markets, alt markets got posted, 11.6, 11.6, 27 views. So the plays are out there. I posted them and people are viewing them. So I would say just double check that you're able to view. You got a middle Jordan on the North Texas game? Nice to hear that, man. Nice to hear. All right, so let's go over. Let's jump into some anytime goal scorers. I got it teed up, ready to go. Let's refresh this page. Oh, I was hoping that Cutter Gauthier play was going to stay there. So Jack Eichel. So obviously, if you're Irish and you live in a state that has circa, obviously we're devigging the Pinnacle here because I've had a lot of success. I wouldn't say success. I've had like crazy, been on fire success since the start of the NHL season, betting anytime goal scores. It's what literally nuked my FanDuel account but it's okay because we made some money. Jack Eichel to score a goal. Anything that's above plus 163 odds, I'm okay with. The unfortunate part here is that there isn't anything other than maybe Canby, right? Bet Rivers, it's a small edge, but I wouldn't bet it. So Jack Eichel play, if you have access to Circa, I would bet this. Same with Brandon Hagel. It's 2.5% edge, but I'm okay with it, right? Plus 230 odds or plus 232 or higher. We don't have that on FanDuel right now. So nothing that I can bet where I'm located, but if you guys have access to Circa, this would be, even though I think Circa's a sharp book, I would definitely go after them for anytime goal scores. So at the moment, like Dylan Cousins, this isn't high enough of an EV edge. We don't just take any play here, guys. We do want to make sure that there's certain thresholds. I'm only betting overs. I haven't messed around with the unders market. You normally see this with the exchanges, and because I don't have access to Novig and ProfitX in Arizona, it's just kind of unfortunate. So we'll come back to this later to see what's up. The sharp money tool, we were looking earlier for some player props. Jake Ottinger, we talked about this. Again, it's a lower limit. It's okay. It's not really all that great. But we liked Ottinger on our DraftKings pick 6. We took his over on his saves. If we get off, though, all the DFS books and we just select all, let's take Pinnacle's limit of $250, right? Let's put up a liquidity limit of $1,000. And we're going to look at today, we're going to look at player props. And here we go. I don't even know how to say this dude's name. I'm not going to try. But clearly, somebody wants this dude's over at plus 102 or plus 101 odds. Someone's put up $4,300. Someone's put up $2,100. This is a go, 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 go sign for me in terms of betting. We have one or two people that have put up a large amount of capital on one specific side. And so you can bet this on Hard Rock. You can bet this on DraftKings. This game starts in 33 minutes. So speaking of DraftKings, I have no problem going over there and betting this right now because the game starts really soon. I'm almost out of money on DraftKings right now. So let's go over the NHL. Senators and the Bruins. We're looking for the over 1.5 shots on goal. Make sure you scroll down to the bottom to hit the over part here. I got to log in. So it logged me out because I was inactive for too long. We'll also take a look at the Senec play. We'll take a look at that one as well. So over here on DraftKings, we got the over 1.5 shots on goal. I am just going to wager, I think I got, what, $300. So we're going to go in for a 150 spot if they'll let me. I don't know if they will. They will. Awesome. So we're in for a 150 spot. A lot of capital on one side over on DraftKings. I like that a lot. Next up, this dude, $3,600. Someone wants his under 1.5. They want it at minus 113 odds. Over at Hard Rock. By the way, for this Michael guy, I'll just kind of come back to this. I'd be fine playing this at plus 100 odds. You want to play this at ESPN Bet or Caesars, fine by me. At Props Builder, it's a little out of my range. I would probably stay away at minus 105. But DraftKings, Hard Rock, Caesars, ESPN Bet this. By the way, guys, ESPN Bet, RIP, it's going away the 1st of December. It's now going to be the Score. So want to hear from you guys. Has anyone used the Score in the chat? I haven't used them, but Penn is moving all of our American customers over to the Score. So I'm curious to find out if the Score is really easy to beat, really hard to beat. Would love to hear you guys' opinion. Love to know that. Good to know that, Ken. Yeah, DK Fanatics. I'll make sure to post Fanatics then for you guys, if you can bet it on Fanatics for sure. So let's look at this dude. Bekic Seneki. Someone wants this at what? Minus 113 odds. We can bet this minus 115 on ESPN Bet. Obviously, I don't expect many people to have Hard Rock. If you do, bet it on Hard Rock. ESPN Bet's fine. And then we're kind of on the edge. I'm okay with FanDuel. I'm probably going to bet this on FanDuel, or I might bet it on ESPN. We'll just do ESPN because I have it over here. We're looking at this under 1.5. And we're looking at what? Minus 115 odds. Somebody really wants this at minus 113. Again, guys, why do I like this so much? Pinnacle's only taken $250. Someone's put up $3,600 on this play. So that grabs my attention, right? So we're looking at the Ducks game. And Penn's got a big game tonight against the Capitals. So let's go. Shots on goal. RIP ESPN Bet. It was fun while it lasted. Under 1.5. Again, because I'm getting a slightly worse price, I'll go in for a 125 spot. I can only bet this for 115. All right. Then we're going to bet it for 115. I could go over and place a little bit extra if I wanted to. That's fine. The bet tracker here, guys, at OddsJam is completely free. So make sure you check out that. And if you're finding anything insightful thus far, make sure to smash the subscribe button as we're pushing towards 8,000 subs. Ultimate goal is obviously to hit 10,000. That's going to be kind of the next big party. So when we hit 10,000. But hitting it for 8,000 is going to be awesome. Mikey just moved to plus 100. Moving markets, guys. Moving markets. Look at that. Damien, any luck with live arbs recently? Yeah, I hit one last night between DraftKings and Props Builder. It was awesome. I posted it, Harrison Barnes. Props Builder honored it. It was a $35 or $40 live arb. It was crazy. It was really, really good. So that's a good question. So when Barstool moved to ESPN Bet, I'm pretty sure I was still limited on ESPN Bet. It didn't change. So because I used Barstool back in the day, great time. And then when it moved to ESPN Bet, my limits stayed the same. So it depends. Like Desert Diamond out here in Arizona, my personal account was limited, and then they did like a refresh. They didn't do a rebrand, but they just kind of refreshed their page and their logo and their look. And I had all my limits reset, which obviously didn't take long for me to get limited again. But it's going to be hard to say. I'd say it's a 50-50 coin flip. It did LV, but they're still active until the end of this month. So you can still place bets on ESPN Bet. December 1st is when Penn will officially transition to the score. So you have the rest of this month to bet on ESPN. Yeah, Jordan, I would say Underdog's been rocking a really awesome sign up. Underdog, I think it's like $1,000 they're offering. Trevor is really, really good. Trevor Moore here. Somebody wants him at minus 122. Now there's going to be tough ones. Like this Trevor Moore plays tough. Tough in that, like, yeah, you can get this at Hard Rock, but not many people have Hard Rock. I live in one of the states where I'm fortunate enough to have them. So going up to like minus 130 on ESPN Bet or Bet 105 to bet this, for me is a bit of a stretch in price. If you can get this at minus 125, awesome. Minus 130 is a little bit of a stretch in my opinion, but again, it just depends on what's really worth it to you. So I'm okay going over to Bet 105 if I have any money left in Bet 105 because I've been betting over there a lot. They're a pinnacle skin, guys. So, and maybe I should go over to Hard Rock and bet this. I'm really in a conundrum with Hard Rock. I'm not limited yet. Trying to save them for maybe more live betting. They are one of those books that are just truly, really, really easy to beat. Like really easy to beat. So we'll go with Trevor Moore. I'll bite the bullet here. But again, if you don't have Hard Rock, it's really hard then to recommend this because there's not much out there. So someone wants to bet this for $2,700. I'll go in for like 125. There's also a really good boost over here on Hard Rock for like SGPs. So we want to take a look at some stuff. Also, let's jump into FanDuel. Let's refresh this once more. All right, let's get into FanDuel because we talked about this. FanDuel every Thursday, guys, offers this like $2 million bonus bets, right? If you score an anytime touchdown score. Let's make sure that they're running it today. See what we got. Yeah, they're running their jackpot. Make sure that you guys opt into this. So let's just jump over here to the game. And as always, guys, if you want to try OddsJam 1 week for free and then save 35% off your first month after the 1 week trial ends, use my code Billy35. You'll receive a 1 week free trial and 35% off your first month after that trial ends. It's a great time. So as we've talked about this before, with player touchdowns, you do not, I repeat, do not need to bet. The more money that you wager on this promo, it's not like you're going to win anything extra if you win, right? So make sure that you claim now this player has to score either the first or the last touchdown. Make sure I'm reading this correctly. No, it's just a 30% profit. But wait a minute, dude. Wait a minute. Am I in the wrong promo? I'm in the wrong promo. Yeah, we want the jackpot. That's what we want. We want this one. Player has to score the first or last touchdown, right? All you have to do is wager $5. That's it. So what we're going to do is we're going to claim this right now, and then we'll go over to the game. And we've hit 2 of the last 3 weeks. We've hit this. And we received $60 bonus bet for Jonnu Smith and then $71 bonus bet for Rashad Bateman. So all I'm simply going to do here, I try to keep things very simple when it comes to sports betting, guys. I'm just going to look for FanDuel's logo right here, and I'm going to wait for it to pop up bright green. That's it. And then I'm going to evaluate the play from there. So I'm just going to see if they have any value at all for anytime touchdown scores. Broncos defense plus 500. That could be a good one. Could be decent. All right. What else do we have? Geno. Okay. I normally like to see Pinnacle's odds. Raiders defense. Okay. Raheem Mostert. Coming down to the bottom here. Tyler Lockett. Okay. All right. So we're going to do something a little unconventional here. And my unconventional thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Broncos defense. I love the Broncos defense. They got a stout D. Geno sucks. Again, personal opinions here. Now, we don't have many other sportsbooks offering these odds, but this is a fun one. I would say, or what we can also do, guys, if we want to come over here to first touchdown scores, let's just do that really quick because I want to make sure we hit that up. Let's go first. Typed it in wrong. All right, let's look at first touchdown score really quickly to see if FanDuel pops up at all for anything else. Broncos defense plus 2,700. Obviously, if I'm doing that, now you're kind of excluding yourself from the bonus if you take a first touchdown score. So just remember that. Pat Bryant, okay. RJ Harvey, it doesn't stick out on FanDuel at all. Tyler Batty. All right, we're just going to go with the Broncos defense here. And I'm going to take them for an anytime, but if you want to take them for first time touchdown scores, totally fine by me. And again, I'm just betting $5 here. So if we win $25 plus we do something awesome. If let's make it spicy. Nobody came here for that. Let's take them first touchdown score. All right, 135. Let's go. So here we go. I'm going to do this. I would take them anytime, guys, if you want to have the insurance of them scoring the last touchdown of the game. But for the sake of $5, let's have some fun with this one, right? So there we go. We're on the Broncos D. To be honest, I'm not super excited about the options that were presented to us by FanDuel. So if you want to bet your opinion on this one, feel free to do so. It's $5. Dan, what's going on? Oh, Dan, you're Damien, bro? I'm sorry about that, dude. I've always called you Dan because I just always saw Dan, but I guess that makes sense now. But I appreciate it, Damien. What's going on, man? Limit on Bovada, or am I limited on Bovada, LV? Like 4 times. So, like my accountant, plenty of others. It's not hard to get limited on Bovada. But Bovada is goated. Honestly, this is the time you use Bovada. It's for NBA player props. Bovada creates their own player prop. And by the way, guys, just remember this. If you get limited on Bovada, there's still props builder attached to Bovada, which is completely separate. That's not limited. So if you're limited on Bovada, you can go over to props builder on Bovada and still bet without any limits. So little tip there that can help out. So let's take a look at this. What else do we got? So we hit the promo up there. That's a fun one. If you guys also really quick, for the long shot lotto parlays. Okay, what do we got here? Where's the long shot lotto parlay? The reason that I love betting first quarter money lines, all these teams that we're betting on suck. They all suck. But like Purdue's at home against Ohio State. And I cannot tell you how many times in the first quarter, the home team coming out of the tunnel, they're all jacked up. Sometimes they get out to a surprising first quarter lead. Also, we have some insurance baked in if there is a tie game, but the first quarter winner, right? Sometimes these teams, like other than Charlotte, they're all at home. So they can come out and get a lead in the first quarter and then still get smoked in the game. Ohio State could still win by 35, but it might be 3-0 Purdue after the end of the first quarter. This is one of the slips that I hit. On this slip here, one of the plays was South Carolina at home money line against Kentucky, and it hit, right? So you can find these all the time when it comes to first quarter money lines. It's a sneaky thing that I like to bet first quarter money lines because the underdog can sometimes, that's at home, they can really get off to a great start. Jordan, you think I have to bet them on any time? I mean, I might have to. They let me use it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. If you want to use Broncos defense for any time, that's totally fine by me. Let's look. Ooh, Morgan Geeky. Dude, my best friend. This is my best friend, guys, of all time. Love Morgan Geeky. 4% EV edge. Now, Pinnacle takes lower limits, but again, I use them as my sharp. Now, I don't like to see FanDuel moving in one direction, but I got to take this Morgan Geeky play. Like, I literally went, I think, 6-0 with him, betting him in the month of October. This is my best friend in the NHL. No one better than Morgan Geeky. What's going on? So they're telling me to wager how much? 120? Can I wager like 125? I can wager 238. See, even on a limited FanDuel account, I can still get some good money down. Now, again, as much as I love this dude, I'm not going to go too crazy here. I'm going to stick to the size. I don't like that movement by FanDuel. That's why I didn't go like above and beyond. But Morgan Geeky, how many times on this live stream in the past couple weeks have we talked about this dude? And how many times does he cash for us? If Mason Marchment is the devil, then Morgan Geeky is my God. He is the dude. Obviously, if you guys have Circa, there's a lot of great plays out here. I'd bet Brandon Hagel. I would bet Jack Eichel. Tomas Hertl, he's an iffy. All right, let's take a look at some player props for NBA, and we'll look also for NFL. So we'll start with the NBA because there's only one game tonight. So markets, let's take a look. Yeah, we'll take this from plus 150 to like plus 140. That's fine by me. And market's cool. We're going to use FanDuel here, and we're going to use worst case. And I think that's all we're really looking for. Percentage. Let's put this at like 5%. What's that show? We got 3 results at 5%. Booker over on assists. Mark Williams under on rebounds. Brook Lopez. So let's look at Booker. Again, if you guys have Bovada, it's like not even close. Like even this is 10 cents off the Pinnacle, and they're only taking minus 105. There we go, Nito. Well, if Kreider's there, then definitely take Kreider. No problem, Irish. You want to take Dobbins. Like I said, the board today wasn't awesome. So if you want to bet your opinion there, totally fine. The reason that I like to bet, though, other types of, I don't normally like to bet the Harveys and the Dobbins of the world, because if you're going to win this and bet $5, like you want to receive some decent bonus bets. In my opinion, all the casual sports bettors that take advantage of this promo are going to bet the popular guys. So that's another thing, guys. I like to bet kind of the outlier dudes, right? Bet the Michael Mayers, right? Everyone's going to bet Brock Bowers. How many people are going to bet Michael Mayer? So with that type of promo, it's almost like a survivor pool. Like you kind of figure that everyone's going to be betting certain dudes. And if you can bet someone else, then you're going to be very happy when it hits. This is the only book that's offering plus odds. So I'm all right with Devin Booker. If we wanted to jump, though, into like the line movement here, I mean, Bovada did just move, and they followed Pinnacle's movement, which is a big deal. But at the same time, you know, we had FanDuel just move a little bit. So this is kind of conflicting, but to see within the last 2 minutes, Pinnacle move doesn't provide me a ton of confidence, but we'll have to see there. If you want to disregard the Booker play on his assist, that's fine. This is an ARB to FanDuel. This looks quite good on the under. But again, you're going to see FanDuel and kind of Pinnacle disagree sometimes. So if you believe that FanDuel's super sharp, and I think they are for NBA player props, you can have a good time betting into some other books, right? Pinnacle's chilling. FanDuel moved about 4 hours ago. They dropped off a cliff. They went from like plus 108 down to minus 110. So there's some serious movement here. Also, guys, something that's very important to note. It's 6:45 Eastern time. Notice when FanDuel moved 4 hours ago. 4 hours ago was 2:25 Eastern time. You know what happens very frequently in the NBA at like 2:25 Eastern time? Injury news is reported. A lot of movement from FanDuel with injury news reported. There is a window in the afternoon where injury news is reported, and I like to use FanDuel a lot to kind of pick off the other books. So FanDuel feels some type of way about Mark Williams. Now, as I think that FanDuel is goated for pregame NBA player props, you can have a great time making money on FanDuel betting them live for player props. But in general, under 8.5 rebounds, I would love to go over to Bet 105. I can only get this at maybe plus 107 odds. I can get this at plus 109 over at Bookmaker. I don't like seeing Bookmaker down there as well, but I'm okay with this. I'm all right with going the opposite. Big screen, no problem, man. So I would say, appreciate that, Anton. Yeah, you can, I mean, for multiple TD scores. So like if you're, like you can set up your TD scores. Like, I have it set up here, off to the side here. So like I have a filter for, where is it? NFL Anytime TDs. Right here, right? So you can see where all the NFL TDs are. Now I have this set up for plus minus 150. The date range is for today, or next 7 days. DVIG settings is Pinnacle. I should probably make me go additive here, but worst case is fine. But yeah, you can set the filter up so that you can just see if you want to bet overs or if you want to bet unders. So for Genty at plus 135, this is a lower edge play, but might be able to get this over on DraftKings. But you can definitely do that. Let me take a look at this really quick. Yeah, it's too low for me. I need something in that 2.5% range or above to really get excited. But no doubt this dude could get it in the end zone. It's just, I don't know how I feel about it. But yeah, you can save your filters. You can come over and save any of your filters. No doubt about that. So Mark Williams, I like this a lot. And then what about Brooke Lopez? Plus 140, Profit X. There's only $270 here, guys. I'm fine with that. Anything that's above plus 127 odds, I would take. Honestly, doesn't seem like any other books are offering that except for Profit X and Hard Rock. I don't mind that at all. Let's refresh this once more. Nothing else. So if we drop this down to 3%, what do we see? A little bit more results. Some more results again. Chris Dunn over on rebounds. Bogdanovich under on threes. Again, Sports Zeno is kind of really easy, guys. You can grab that. Bogdanovich under on threes. Interesting. So I love to look at books that move. Movement from books is very key. While you could say the bookmaker move, they really just went back to their original position. Not much from Pinnacle. And then as we know, around injury news time, FanDuel moved a lot, but then they've jumped back up to plus 108. Still something I don't mind betting over on Bookmaker. I don't mind going over to Bookmaker. Again, guys, any of these sports books can catch action from me. I don't care how sharp the community says they are. I'm happy to bet into some of these books. So I'm going to go over here right now. I only have $111 on my Bookmaker account. One game tonight, Clippers Suns. That's it. Tomorrow there's going to be a boatload of them. So let's see here. And I'm getting this out plus 130 odds. They're only taking $250 on this play. So I'll put this in for a 110 spot because that's all I have left. And as soon as I bet it, it moved to plus 126. I'm not kidding, guys. As soon as I place this bet, it just moved to plus 126. So if I open this back up, it might not be reflected here, but at least what I'm seeing on my board, it's plus 126. Okay, got it. All right, so there we go. We got Bogdanovich. What about Chris Dunn? Over 3.5 rebounds. FanDuel. Did FanDuel move at all? Whoa, yeah, they moved a lot. Again, 3 hours ago, roughly when injury news was reported. FanDuel moved a ton. Go over to DraftKings. Go over to Onyx, to Hard Rock. Another telltale sign, guys, that this is a great play. Anytime that DraftKings has the same odds as Hard Rock, dude, Hard Rock's one of the easiest books in the world to beat. So, yes, go bet this over there right now. And that's what I'm doing on my phone right now over at Onyx. I'm going to bet the Chris Dunn over 3.5 rebounds at minus. If I get it at minus 105, that's fine by me. Remember, there's two Dunns out here, guys. There's Ryan Dunn and there's Chris Dunn. They moved it to minus 110. What about on DraftKings? Can I still bet this over on DraftKings? I only have $151 left. Dang. Let's go over here to NBA. Let's grab this. Let's see what we got. At some point, I'm getting limited on DraftKings. I just don't know when. Chris Dunn. I like that. All right, I only have 150 left, but if they'll let me bet it, I'll bet it. There we go. We're in. So that's it, DraftKings. C'est la vie. So we're in on DraftKings. Onyx moved to minus 110. It's the one thing that I kind of don't like about Onyx. Zubox, under on rebounds. Let's take a look at this. Ooh, a little bit of movement from both books. A lot of movement. I shouldn't say. A lot of movement from Bovada. A little bit from FanDuel. Recent line movement, guys, is really, really important to me. It's interesting that these books moved kind of in similar directions, honestly. Bovada was at 150. They moved to 140. This is just massively off to FanDuel. If I had to pick one book that I would bet my life on that's a lot smarter and sharper, it's FanDuel. So if you want to bet this on Bovada, have some fun. Aaron, I appreciate that, my friend, but honestly, my personal Bovada account got cooked a few years ago. So if any, so I don't have one to share. Just go ahead and sign up. But please, please, please be very careful about the bonus funds that they offer you, because it's an easy way to have your money tied up for a long time. So if you do take some of their bonus funds, I would advise taking just a small portion, because you don't want to get limited on Bovada while you still are in a rollover. Hand up, guys, on the Bogdanovich play that we bet earlier. I actually screwed it up. I bet his total points because it said 10.5 and I just missed the 0. So I accidentally bet him under 10.5. So real quick, I just have to go over to the bet tracker and put this in, because I did not bet his 3-pointers. I screwed it up. Just an error. Even I do it from time to time. All right, where's the player points at? Yeah, I screwed this one up. But I did get it at a decent price compared to FanDuel, but I bet $110. It is now plus 126 because my bet at plus 130 moved the market to plus 126. So, dang. All right, that happens. Let's take a look at, what else do we got here? Let's go back to the Sharp Money tool. Let's refresh this page. We have anything else that's kind of note? Cole Caulfield. Under on assists. Not a market I've wagered into too much, but someone likes this at $1,800. So, okay. $1,800. Good to know. And again, for any of you guys that are filtering in right now, as I mentioned earlier, on Tuesday, I released an all-access package to my Dub Club, and the first 2 days were up over 3 units. So plays are already given out for today's plays for main markets and player props. Looking to have another solid day. I think there's 16 plays that I gave total today. So looking to provide some. For those of you that are in Dub Club right now, just so you know, I am going to start to put together some parlays. A parlay here or there for us. It might be some long shot lottos that I won't be sharing with, on Twitter. It's just going to be for us right in there. Might just be some general parlays also, but take a look at that. That's going to be coming up as well. But if you guys want to check that out, as I mentioned before, I'm offering a 3-day free trial if you want to check it out, and then 20% off if you sign up for the 1-month package. It's $19.99, but you'll save about $4, and it'll cost you $16 for the first month. So if you want to take it out, yeah, Ken. So I post main markets in the morning, maybe really early afternoon. Like at the latest, I would say I post the main market plays around 11 a.m. Eastern. And then player props are normally in that 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern time zone, time range. That's when I post my player props. On the main markets, I am working on right now giving out plays for Saturday and Sunday's NFL plays now, because as you guys know, I don't bet main markets typically too often for the NFL and college football on those days. So it'll be on the weekends, it'll be heavy player props. But that's the timing of it. So that's when I look to do it. Player shots on goal, Robert Thomas. Someone just put up $2,900 on no vig. They won him at minus 135. We can bet this at minus 125. You can bet it at ESPN Bet, Ballybet, Hard Rock, DraftKings, Bovada, Fanatics. Yeah, Robert Thomas Over 1.5 shots on goal. Blues, Sabres. I don't have any more money in DraftKings, but I have money in ESPN Bet. So let me fire up ESPN Bet. They'll probably only let me wager 135, but that's fine. Let's see. Over 1.5 shots on goal. All right, Blues, Sabres. And for those of you that are new to just following me, to have complete transparency, a few things. Number one, on my Dub Club, I share. 130 is the max bet. I have all of my plays tracked in a spreadsheet. So if you sign up for my Dub Club and you're an active member, I have a link that I will share with you that tracks all of my plays. I'm a big believer in transparency. I'm a big believer in you knowing what you're paying for. So if you want to see all the plays, if you're like, I don't know, man, this guy might be full of shit, I don't believe him. Guess what? I got them all tracked. You can see exactly how well or not well I'm performing. So that is going to be a link that I have shared. I know Chi-Town, a couple people asked for it. I shared it with them. So you can see all the plays and all the units risked and our win and loss and all of that, right? I'm very transparent when it comes to my results. If I suck, I suck. And if I'm killing, I'm killing. That's why I boast and brag so much online, because I have nothing to hide. But also, for those of you that are new and you're like, how is this dude betting for 4 years and he's not limited on ESPN or he's not limited on Hard Rock? Partnerships. That's how. My personal accounts got burned years ago. But like any professional sports bettor that stays in the game long enough, you have to form partnerships. So I won't really expand on that topic because if you know, you know, but that's how. So that's how we kind of keep the train going down the tracks, is partnerships. So, and that's why any plays that I give out in my Dub Club, I bet them myself. So it's not like I'm just giving you plays just for you to bet. I'm right there with you. So let's look at this one too. Dylan Cousins, Bruins Senators. Someone put up $2,700 and wants this at minus 208 on the over 1.5. This is obviously Hard Rock, but you can bet this on Bet 105. Bovada as well. Man, DraftKings, it's okay on DraftKings, I would say. So, guys, just so you know, Bet 105 is one of my favorites. It's a Pinnacle skin. So, in America, I can't bet on Pinnacle. No American that lives in this country can bet on Pinnacle. But you can sign up for Bet 105 and they copy their odds. So if you use code Billy C for Bet 105, so I'll put this in here. So if you use code Billy C on your first deposit when you create an account, $100 wager, if you deposit $100, you receive a $50 free bet, and it's a 1x rollover, which is really, really solid. So let's run over here to grab this Dylan Cousins play really quickly. I have to get it at minus 208 odds. That's fine. It's now 211. It's fine. I only have $135 left in this account, so we're going to bet that over there on Bet 105. Okay. So far, there is a resounding, I'm going to end the poll right now. There's a resounding yes for long shot lottos. So 69 votes. Dang, I'm so glad we just canceled. We stopped the voting at 69. Guys, it's going to be a good night tonight. We're all going to get laid. It's going to be so epic. 69 votes. Overwhelmingly, 3/4 of you are saying, yeah, how about some long shot lottos, bro? So let's go through a long shot lotto, right? We all want to get rich tonight. We all want to get laid, right? Here's how we would do it. So you can pick a sports book if you have a sports book in mind. By the way, guys, I would highly advise you guys putting together some long shot lottos on some accounts that you think you might get limited on a DraftKings, on a Hard Rock, on a BetMGM, right? These are going to be, even on Fanatics, these are going to be opportunities for you. The sports books are getting smarter, but I like putting some long shot lottos. It just kind of masks your action just a little bit. So let's just pick the favorite, right? Let's just go with FanDuel, okay? And date range can be for whatever. But, the DVIG settings, we always want to make sure we're using additive. Additive does the best job of appropriately placing the appropriate amount of EV on long shot underdogs. All of these DVIG methods have special skills, right? Think of it like Paw Patrol for your kids, or think of it like in school. Maybe you excelled at science and you sucked at math, or maybe you were really good at gym class like I was and you couldn't do social studies for shit. All of these have different strengths, and additive does the best when we're looking at plus 200 odds and above. It just does the best job. So, we can look at a lot of different stuff here, a lot of different things. Now, if you want to cap this at maybe a plus 500 odds range, that's fine too. You can do that as well. Maybe I don't want to bet team total corners because it's too niche of a market for me, but we can bet some different opportunities here, maybe in Charlotte and East Carolina, right? We can go after some different plays. This is how then I just kind of scroll through, like Corey Perry to get a point. That's not all that crazy of a long shot. So if you want to kind of make this a little bit bigger, you could say, give me some plays from plus 200 to maybe plus 400, right? Give me those. What do we got? Okay. Highest EV edge play, you could go after the lowest hanging fruit. Hey, look, Boston College, first quarter money line. That looks familiar. Wisconsin, first quarter money line. Now, these are a little bit lower edge plays, but again, I take the Charlotte, East Carolina play, maybe the over 69.5. Take Boston College, take the Bears. That's a 3-leg long shot lotto. That's kind of how I like to go about this when it comes to these. Now, you can expand this. You don't have to set this at plus 400 odds. You could just say, man, don't give me any kind of ceilings. Just give me maybe plays that are plus 150 and above. Then you're going to see some pretty crazy plays, right? Here's Purdue money line. Still haven't changed, but it's still an arb to Pinnacle. And while Pinnacle's only taking $500, you can see that FanDuel's just way off to everybody else. This is crazy, right? Crazy. Like, why would you bet this on DraftKings when you could bet it on FanDuel? It's a big difference, even on a $10 bet. It's almost $30 extra in your pocket going over to FanDuel. So there we go. All right, guys. Too high, Mikey, on Michael Myers pick 6. I'm going to end the stream here because I'm starving for food. I got to go eat something right now. Let's look at this for the Raiders. His receiving yards. Yeah, so the thing here, Mikey, it's a great point that you make. What I will say with receiving yards and just receiving yards or rushing yards, passing yards in general, there's normally a wide distribution when it comes to yards. So while this looks like incredibly sharp, and it's a good play, it's okay to Pinnacle. Receiving yards can be kind of crazy. When you're looking at like player rebounds or player assists or pitcher strikeouts, there's a very much higher likelihood that distribution is going to be, if you're looking at over 5.5 rebounds, there's a pretty high likelihood that it's going to land on like 4, 5, 6, or 7, right? 4, 5, or 6, right? Receiving yards, like Michael Mayer could be at like 15 yards. He could be at 70 yards. There's a wider distribution of Mayer's receiving yards. So this play's okay. But just keep in mind, guys, when you're looking at yards when it comes to football, think of this as there can be a wider distribution. This is just kind of a general area where the books think that this is going to land. Be back on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. I will be on tomorrow morning for sure, and then back on tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Questions, email me, DM me. Don't hesitate to reach out and ask questions. No question is silly or dumb. I've been there before. I know what it's like. Otherwise, guys, enjoy your Thursday evening. Enjoy the sports, and I'll talk to you guys mañana. Adios.